Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be addressing a question that I always get asked is how did you go from chemistry to cybersecurity? Why did you pursue a career within cybersecurity? And what were the lessons learned? So, I had a squiggly career path from chemistry to cybersecurity, the journey of which took a year and a half. At the end of my degree, I realized that I did not want to pursue a career within the sciences, and in this particular case, chemistry. So I decided to extend my studies by a year by going abroad to China. The reason being is that I have African parents. So if I told them that I wanted to do nothing and figure my life out, they'll probably kill me. So I thought, what better way to escape that by going to China, where I'd be able to travel, I'd be able to learn, and also figure out what I actually want to do with my life. So, during my time in China, COVID happened, and we were forced to terminate our year in China studies and return back to our university. We were then tasked with looking at how technology can be used to teach university education. And in my instance, I was looking at how you can use virtual reality to teach chemistry subjects. So that was my first flavor into the field of technology. And I was like, this is an area of interest and an area that I'd like to pursue. Also, within that time, there was a lady who tweeted her career success within the industry and her financial prospects within the industry. And I remember at that time, whilst I was studying about technology and its applications within chemistry, and then that tweet came along, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, a career in technology is exactly where I need to be. So now that I had this newfound interest in technology, I decided, right, what are the first steps that I need to make? So the first step that I did was I participated in a boot camp, and this boot camp was shared to me by one of the university society groups that I was a part of. So I was part of the Women in STEM Society, and during the time that I was learning about technology, they shared the In 4.0 coding bootcamp, which was looking at the applications of cloud computing within the manufacturing industry. Here's an important lesson to learn here: the importance of having a solid network, being part of society groups and career support groups, as oftentimes they will share opportunities that you can partake to help you grow and develop in your career. So that boot camp was a complete career switch because I was learning about cloud computing and its applications within the manufacturing industry. And so we were basically looking at how you can use technology to detect whether a machine is going to shut down or is going to die by looking at stats and data like on average, what is the temperature? On average, what is the pressure? What happens if the temperature or the pressure goes above or below the norm, and how can we put in technology in place to inform us of changes to that machine, for example. Although it was a complete career switch and I was learning something new, I did develop technical skills that I was then able to leverage to land a role at a health tech startup. It's important to note that during that period of completing the boot camp and working at a health tech startup, I was stacking shelves at Sainsbury's. So I hadn't secured a job immediately, and I was still waiting and figuring out what was going to be next, having completed that boot camp. So I just want to point out there that don't give up in your journey of pursuing a career in any industry just because you don't know when the opportunity could come, and always be on board and ready in the event that it does. We continue. So, having completed the boot camp in cloud computing, I was then able to land a role at a health tech startup where I was looking at the intersection of technology and science. So, essentially, what I was involved in was looking at how to use technology to detect for coronavirus. And it was a really useful experience because I was able to utilize my science knowledge to understand the science behind COVID, how it works, and how to detect for it. And then I was able to utilize the skills that I developed from the coding bootcamp, the cloud bootcamp, to use technology to enhance that process. It's important to note that technology is a skill set that you apply to an industry. In the first instance, I was looking at how technology could be applied to the education sector. In the second instance, I was looking at how technology could be applied to the manufacturing industry. And in this third instance, I was looking at how technology could be applied to the healthcare sector to detect for coronavirus. So my sprint at the startup lasted 6 months. With startups, sometimes they succeed, sometimes they fail, but regardless, I was able to pick up new skills and leverage that to land a role within cyber. So the next stage is a very interesting one because I never anticipated to land into cybersecurity. If I'm quite honest with you, my initial intention was to break into cloud engineering because at the time of me looking to pursue a career within technology, cloud engineering was really only the one that was talked about, and there were a lot of resources that were supporting people on helping them on that journey. So what had happened was after I'd finished the 6 months at the health tech startup, I actually looked to apply for a role in cloud engineering in a graduate program. I was so adamant and sure that I was going to get it, but unfortunately, I didn't get it, and I was devastated because my intention was to become a cloud engineer. That's what I was working towards, but it just didn't work out. So, as a result of the cloud engineering opportunity not going through, I had to look for alternative routes and opportunities into technology, even though they weren't necessarily aligned with what I had originally planned. So, after I'd finished my 6 months at the health tech startup, I attended a recruitment event which was hosted by a career support group, in this case, Coding Black Females, where they had a partnership with a leading bank and they were showcasing some of the opportunities that they had. I went in there not really thinking anything of it. I was like, I really want clouds. I didn't get clouds, but I'm here. Let's see what opportunities are there. Let's see what this is all about. When I attended that event, it soon dawned on me that technology, again, is a skill set that you apply to an industry and that all industries have a tech department. When I thought about technology, I only really thought of the Googles, the Microsoft, the Amazon. Attending that event made me realize that every single organization, even the ones you least expect, have a tech department, and that I should change my strategy to apply for tech roles in various different industries. So, in this case, we were exposed to the tech opportunities that were in a leading bank. So during that recruitment event, one of the hiring managers talked about cybersecurity and they also talked about some of their personal interests as well. I remember at that time, I wasn't really fussed about cybersecurity. And quite frankly, I didn't think I was smart enough or intelligent enough to land a role within cyber. The thing that got me into applying for a role within cyber was the fact that I had developed the knowledge of the cloud. And at that time, and still now, the organization was moving to the cloud. So I knew I had some transferable technical skills that I could apply to that role. And the second thing was, I really liked my hiring manager at the time because I thought, okay, this seems like a person that I could work with, and I feel as though I could definitely grow, learn, and develop within that team. So I just applied for the opportunity, tried to relate it to cybersecurity where possible, as you know, the cloud, you need to secure the cloud, etc. But also, during the interview, I was able to highlight my strong transferable skills, the soft skills such as communication, presentation, which forms a heavy part of your tech career. So, following the success of that, I landed my role within cyber. What I want you to learn from that is sometimes during your tech career journey, things don't necessarily work out in the way that you like. It's important to be open to changes and pivots and redirections in your career, as you never know where that opportunity could lead you. In this instance, I took on the opportunity. I had no idea that it was going to lead me to where I am today, but it was a worthwhile risk. One of the other things I would say was that opportunity in cyber meant that I was able to get my foot in the door, gain industry experience, projects, work with stakeholders that I could then leverage even further to work in a role that was more suited towards what I wanted. What I find is that the reality is you don't necessarily always get to start off doing the career that you want of interest. Sometimes it's about finding an opportunity that will get your foot in the door, especially a large organization, because once you're in there, you can develop valuable skills such as working on projects, working with clients, developing your network, and in addition to that, gain better career clarity with regards to what career you want to pursue. And the other thing is, the reality is, you won't necessarily know what career it is that you want to pursue until you actually start working in industry. We have an idea of what a career might be like, but we won't actually know what that career is like until we actually start working. So for me, even though I wanted to do cloud engineering, I didn't necessarily know what a career in that would look like. It's only because I took the opportunity in cybersecurity that now I have more leverage and more privilege to be able to pivot into a cloud engineering role, which I may not necessarily have had the opportunity to do so if it wasn't for me taking on the cybersecurity experience. So, yeah, I hope this 10-minute session about my squiggly career journey has been insightful and you've learned a few lessons. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts, and I'll be back again with another video.